understanding clearly, like if you talk to me and you call someone on our team, they're like, what is Dustin? What does he tell you? Hey man, we're chasing $1 billion dreams. We are going to take over this industry. We are going to do something with the RR brands that's never been done before, right? We do three things, man. We care about each other, we care about growth, and we care about winning, right? They know what we're going to do. They know the goal. They know what we're working on for the next 12 to 24 months. They know the next steps. Every meeting we're talking about what we're going to do. So now they're following and they want to be a part of it, because people either have to have a vision or they have to believe in one. And if you're not talking about your vision, then they're going to go to the guy that is. And so I think as an entrepreneur, you have to understand what you want. So if you want to be mom and pop, be mom and pop. So if you want to be, let's say, $100 million company, okay, great. Now you need to start implementing that. And
what are a couple of the, I mean, looking back, I mean, maybe a couple of tweaks that you made, a couple of things that you did to get people to stay, to get people to follow you, to get people to want to be in your environment, to help you build the team, So what are a couple of the little things that you might have, because there's a lot of people, a lot of small entrepreneur business owners watching right now, and they're thinking in their mind, okay, give me some practical things that I need to do.
Man, it's crazy. So we have a workout group, and this might actually tie into it. So we have a group of 12 of us, and we work out at my house in my 2-car garage, which is a full gym. And we do it 6 days a week at 6 a.m. And at the end of the workout, we give a good word. And it's part of our culture here. We work out there, not just for the workout, but it's for the brotherhood. And we give this good word. There's prayer. We talk about struggles. We talk about the good. And today for me, it was like, look, if you want to be successful, the work is the work. And we get so confused at the strategies. And I'm going to give you some, because I think you got to have tactical bullet points. But we want to sexy up success, and it's not sexy, right? It's a dirt. And what people want to do is they want to have a morning routine. It doesn't matter. They want to have the 15 things successful entrepreneurs do before they wake up. Bullshit. Doesn't matter. The work is the work, and it needs to be done. And success doesn't care if you're in a good mood. It doesn't care if you're in a bad mood. Totally. It doesn't care what you're going through. It doesn't care what you ate for breakfast. It doesn't care what time you woke up. You have to do the work. And I think I've never lost track of that. Now, on the flip side, I exercise 6 days a week. It has given me a mental edge over Dustin 2 years ago. It has made me be able to think clearer, make better decisions, larger decisions. So if you take two people that are reading books, that are exercising, eating right, and they both work 12 hours a day, and the other guy is eating bad foods and doing all these things, this guy will be more successful with the better routine, hands down. I'm talking just in the grind. You have to fall in love with the work. You cannot shortcut the work. But I will tell you, the key that I think for any entrepreneur is understand fully where you want to go. Because if you want to grow and you don't know where you're going to go, nobody else is going to follow you, because how can they follow you with no directions? Right? Understanding clearly, like if you talk to me and you call someone on our team, they're like, what is Dustin? What does he tell you? Hey man, we're chasing $1 billion dreams. We are going to take over this industry. We are going to do something with the RR brands that's never been done before, right? We do three things, man. We care about each other, we care about growth, and we care about winning, right? They know what we're going to do. They know the goal. They know what we're working on for the next 12 to 24 months. They know the next steps. Every meeting we're talking about what we're going to do. So now they're following and they want to be a part of it, because people either have to have a vision or they have to believe in one. And if you're not talking about your vision, then they're going to go to the guy that is. And so I think as an entrepreneur, you have to understand what you want. So if you want to be mom and pop, be mom and pop. So if you want to be, let's say, $100 million company, okay, great. Now you need to start implementing that. And I would say the best strategy that I can tell you that changed my life was I stopped focusing on where I was at and I focused on where I was going. So operate where you're going, right? And for me, it allowed me to make hires for the future, right? And so when you're starting out and you have a business, and let's just say you and I start a roofing company, and it's just you and I, and you're the ops guy, maybe I'm the sales guy, or vice versa. It doesn't matter. We're going to set clear direction. You're handling sales, I'm handling operations. Great. Now we got it. We're going to hit a peak at our office of, hey man, we're probably gonna make good money. Let's say you're selling 8 to 10 roofs a month, and I'm contributing 1 or 2. We're doing 10 roofs a month, and I'm doing all the op stuff, and we're profiting, say, 50 grand a month, right? And we're putting in 10, 15% up. But hey man, we're putting 15, 20K in our pocket after 6 months. Sounds like a pretty good gig. Well, most people don't want to take the next step because they feel like by hiring someone, I'm eating into my profit.
Right.
Me, I'm looking at what task are you and I doing that we could pay someone 3 to 5 grand to do that frees us up to do more. And so that's what I started doing. I started saying, okay, look, I'm being bogged down, Daniel, by these almost elementary task data entry stuff. Right. I'm going to hire this person, and then it's going to free me up to sell 4 roofs a month. It's going to free you up to do this. And then I looked at how could we grow the sales team? Well, you're doing 8 deals, but what if we had 10 guys doing 2 deals? Well, now we're doing, even if you go down to 5, we're still selling now 25 roofs instead of your 8. And so let's invest in where we want to go. So if we sell X amount of dollars, we're going to outsell our spending. And so I just invested in the people. I was like, okay, we need to hire somebody that could be a future sales manager. Let's give this guy 3 to 5 grand base plus commission, and let's look to grow to take some of the stuff off your plate. And that way you're not doing less now. You're just doing more of what you're good at. So it was the ability to identify people, what they're good at, let them triple down on that. And then the things they sucked at, I hired somebody else to take care of it for them. And it was every time I made a certain amount of money, man, I invested in hiring someone else because I knew where I was going instead of putting it in my pocket. And so many entrepreneurs, I talk to them and I'm like, hey man, who do you have on your team? Well, it's just me. Why? Well, I don't have any money. Well, how much money are you paying yourself? Well, X. Well, pay that to somebody else and they could do this and free you up. Right. And that was probably the one strategy that I doubled down on. I see a lot of people, they just don't do it, man. They're so afraid to make the mistake that's actually the biggest mistake is not making a mistake. And
so when you started making a bunch of money, you started investing, right? So I know you like to invest into different sectors. And I mean, did you invest into liquid death water or something like that, and goat fuel or something like that? Are you a part investor in those companies? Did I read that right?
Yeah. So I invested in liquid death. I invested in goat fuel with Jerry Rice. Another big one is Rein Coffee. That's Cole Hauser. And a few other people.
And have they done pretty well for you? I mean,
really, really, really well, right? And it's funny is we brought some of our team in, allowed them to invest in it as well to keep that unity in the culture for the leaders that have been here a while.
And so how did you come to that realization that investment was good at the time? Like how do you what do you look for when you look at a startup or something like that?
I look at the people that are involved. I feel like it's not what you do, it's who you do it with. And I feel like all your success, so when so many things, like let's just use go back to you and me and as an example or an analogy, is that I feel like a guy like you and I could do any business and be successful. You could literally throw us somewhere and we're going to figure it out, right? Immediately on the call, winners win. That's a skill set that people they don't realize is such a great skill. It's who you do it with. And so I always look at people, because you can have the greatest product, and if you have just terrible people running it, it's not going to go anywhere. And vice versa, you could actually have some things that, like, look at what we do. We do roofing. Roofing's the least sexiest thing in the world. Roofing is not fun. And it's why, it's because who I do it with. And so when I'm looking at a business, it's not how can I scale it, it's who can I scale it with. Who can I partner with? Who can I work with? And so for someone like just using you and I, it's like I could partner with you on something and I know we're going to take it to the top. So I look at not what's really in it, it's who's in it, right? Because if someone's overspending, we can fix that. If someone's not spending enough, we can fix that. If we need to, invest a little bit of cash, we can do that. But the reality is, no matter if we do all those things, if we don't have the right people on the bus, it's all going to go right back to where it is. So I always look for who, not what or how.
If you like this video and you want to watch another one, click right here. If you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.